Of the other members.
We are in vote 1204. Yes. Madam Chair, I need your guidance. Yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, Chairperson.
Can I proceed? Madam Chair, I'm getting confused here by my colleague and friend, Honorable Mamalwa.
Hello, yes.
Can I proceed?
Yes, you can proceed, but comments. Of course we are informing the House for the sake of the other members. If you are holding the supplementary paper, you are good to go.
No, Madam Chair, regardless of what paper I'm holding, it is 1204.
Chair, let me hear from the Leader of Majority. Point of order from the Leader of Majority.
Chair, budget. Chair, budget. Yes, those of us who are in the morning here, at least we reached up to vote 1185. Yes. Then the supplementary order paper has reorganized. So some of you are using the old order paper in the morning. So let's follow the current supplementary order paper. And the chair is right. We are starting with 1204.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. I am right. We are starting with 1204. And members, again, also as a point of information to the House, we are dealing first, as it was agreed in the morning session, that we are dealing first with it was in the committee. Of course, we are dealing with the votes that we have amendments.
Oh. Okay.
For us to be able to transact from informed point of view.
Yeah.
Yes, the chairperson.
You know, Madam Chair, I am still trying to find out if there's an amendment to this particular vote. If there isn't, then I can speak.
There is amendment.
Is there? There's no supplementary. So I would rather speak after the amendment has been moved. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the point we speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. But it's good you are within the allowing of the debate. Yes. Another member? Nakuru Town East, you want to speak on this before I propose? Honorable Cecily Barile.
Madam Chair, I don't know whether members do actually have that supplementary order paper. A lot of us don't have it, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Cecily, but I've just ordered right now, just 5 minutes ago. Thank you for again wanting to remind me. I remind them again. Okay. I just give an indication that the supplementary order paper, that it should be circulated to the members for the purpose of reference, because we can only transact when the members are able to follow where we are. That's been catered for. Honorable Cecily Barile, thank you. I want to allow a few just to comment on the same. We are again on the Minister of Tourism and Wildlife. Yes, Honorable Member for Gunja.
You know, Madam Chair, I'm still not clear, because I'm being told that there's an amendment, a proposed amendment to this vote. Is that true? If it is true, why can't it be moved by the chair of the committee?
Honorable Public Accounts
Before I can make my comments.
There are procedures we have to follow.
Okay.
This is committee of, and I must agree that it's the first committee in the 12th Parliament.
Nonetheless, I will proceed. And make my comments.
You spoke to this. You have already spoken your comments to this. You want to comment on this?
Yes.
Just comment.
I just wanted to say something, Madam Chair. If you look at this money, 1204, on vote 1204, the money being appropriated, the 12.9 billion Kenya shillings, may look like a lot of money, Madam Chair. But from where I stand or sit, I think it is money which is proper. In fact, if you look at tourism as a sector, you will come to the realization that it's a sector which has got a very big potential. It's a potential to make this country actually earn a lot of foreign exchange, which, as you know, we have had issues with for a long time. In fact, tourism can be one of the biggest contributors to our GDP. And therefore, Madam Chair, my comment is, even as much as I want to support this, which I have to, we need to be sure that this money is being directed to the right places. For a long time, tourism has been made synonymous with Mombasa. Yes, Mombasa, Kilifi, Malindi, Kwale. But tourism in this country can be harnessed anywhere, everywhere indeed, including Garissa. Yes. Madam Chair, if you went to Siaya County, you will see a very big potential for domestic tourism. We have got the great Ramogi Hills in the great county of Siaya. If you went to Kakamega County, you would see a very huge potential for tourism. Look at the Kakamega Forest, look at the bullfights, you see, and
Mheshimiwa Bondo, Ogola Ochanda, you are just the first one.
I'm here, thanks, Chair. I think what a quick comment that I might want to place on this is the whole issue of tourism. In as much as I support the figures and the
in Bometi County. Number 2, students from Kisau Girls, Mboni East Constituency, Makueni County. And number 3, St. Mary's Secondary School, Naivasha Constituency, that is Nakuru County. They are welcome to the house. They're in the public gallery to see proceedings of the house. They are welcome. Then now we can call the programs.
Tourism Development and Promotion Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is at the program, Tourism and Wildlife, and the votes 1204 be amended as proposed. Honourable Chair, Budget.
Thank you, Honourable Chair.
Honourable Chair, as you are how to be called, that is a program on trade, development, and promotion.
Yes, Honourable Chair.
You are moving your amendment on
You realize we have 2 amendments on 1204. One, that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of development expenditure of Kenya shillings 2,194,000,000 be deleted and substituted thereof with the figure of Kenya shillings 2,520,000,000. 2 is that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates of Kenya shillings 2,667,000,000.
Are you doing both together?
Yes, they are related.
Just do the first one, so because we have to take it as it
Sorry?
is. Just do one by one.
Okay, the first one is an increment, Honourable Chair, of Kenya shillings 326 million towards tourism development and promotion in an allocation that had been removed from that program, Mamangina Development in Mombasa. Another further 100 million shillings that had also been removed, and we are instating that, and another 26 million that had also been moved to Ushanga initiative. So the amendment is to reinstate those 2 figures that had been removed by the committee, and I hope the chair of the committee is here, or at least the vice chair is here. So they are aware what the amendment is about. Can I move to the second one? Because it is related.
No, let's do one by one. Honourable Chris Wamara.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, ordinarily, when you move an amendment, Chair needs to give a justification. So the whole House needs to know. It's not just the committee of the relevant sector, tourism, or whatever the case. The entire committee, the entire House must be able to know whether there's that justification. Otherwise, we can be able to reject.
Thank you.
Absolutely, in the plenary. And that's why I'm requesting Honorable Ichungwa to give the justification so that all the honorable members here will be able to know whether they'll vote yes or no. Please.
I thought, Honorable Ichungwa, please just maybe you can just 5 more because you started the justification. I don't know what Chris wants, but just maybe. Honorable Chair, Budget.
Chair, you must appreciate that indeed the people who interact with the departmental committees are chairs and members of those departmental committees, not the chair or the Committee on Budget and Appropriations. However, I am informed reliably by the Vice Chair of the committee. The project is called Mamangina Waterfront Development Initiative. Mamangina Drive Waterfront Development Initiative. It's a program in Mombasa. I do not have information myself on what it relates. The Vice Chair is here, or members of that particular departmental committee. And I did indicate, Chair, that the departmental committee had reallocated a total of 426 million shillings, 200 million shillings from this Mamangina, 100 million from another vote still under this program, and a further 100 million shillings from a railway museum. On the wisdom of the committee, they reallocated all that money. The budget committee agreed with them because they said Ushanga initiative for them is what impacted more directly to the people of Kenya. Because as you heard from the Vice Chair this morning, Ushanga initiative is an initiative that is touching the lives of our pastoralist farmers, especially those from the Maa community, Turkana, people from Marsabit, people who do beadwork, and also men and women who are doing arty crafts, and those are the tourism things they do. Therefore, and it's a very good program for those communities. It's not just promoting tourism, it is empowering communities in those areas. And besides empowering those communities, the program is also coming with some of these safety net things that we are doing for the elderly. They are recruiting women in those groups and enlisting them for NHIF and making sure that those people are truly empowered at their local levels. Therefore, that money has been reallocated from this kitty into that Ushanga initiative. 200, 100, another 100 from a railway museum. I'm told in the wisdom of the committee, they felt that Kenya Railways can do their own museum. You don't need to allocate money from the Ministry of Tourism to go and build a museum for Kenya Railways.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you satisfied now, Chris? I'm told even the member for Kisumu Central, who is usually not satisfied, is now satisfied.
Honorable Chair, you are doing your duty to just justify and make sure they are satisfied. Honorable members, with that explanation, I move to put to propose the question, which that.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to support. This amendment, and more so where funds are being provided to the Ushanga initiative, Madam Chair. But Madam Chair, I get concerned, although this is the second one, when I see money being moved from for tourism development and promotion, Madam Chair. Because Madam Chair, some of us who have gone to outside this country, the other day we were in actually Indonesia, and you realize, Madam Chair, a country like Indonesia, which has only a beach, and they don't have wildlife, are managing to attract 30 million tourists. Kenya, where we have beaches and we have wildlife, we can only manage to attract about 1.5 million, Madam Chair. I think, Madam Chair, this ministry needs to think seriously and start investing resources in the area of promotion and marketing. Because, Madam Chair, statistics has proved that any tourist who comes to Kenya, they create about 3 direct employment positions. And indirectly, they create a lot of employment. So I think we need to put more money in marketing our country as a tourism destination. With those remarks, I support.
You support Leader of Majority?
Madam Speaker, every year we allocate huge resources to tourism. And I want to tell members, a city called Istanbul receives 30 million tourists a year. And when we receive 1.1 in Kenya, we get excited. And we have all that it takes to bring visitors to this country. In fact, this Ushanga initiative is going to empower a lot of women in the grassroots. And I was told the Minister for Tourism opposed this. He opposed it. And this House has given tax rebates, Madam Speaker, to people who build hotels. They bring materials, they bring everything. Whatever we do as a government, as a parliament in terms of taxation, must be seen in the numbers that come to our country. So, Madam Speaker, I think I really want to thank the Committee on Tourism and the Chair of Budget. And Madam Speaker, if you allow me, I want to speak to the Chair of Public Accounts Committee. I have now confirmed that I have tabled the report, the special report of the Auditor General on the accounts of Ministry of Health for the financial year 2015-2016. Chair, now you have a work to do. It's a very interesting report I have read. So it is now, please make sure you bring a report. I've done my bit. And see who have stolen money.
Good information to the House. Honorable Cess Barilla, you have a comment on this?
Madam Speaker, I rise to speak as a former assistant minister in the Ministry of Tourism, and therefore I really strongly wish to support this particular amendment, and just say that it is one thing to challenge how many tourists we are having coming to Kenya, but our biggest competition in Africa is South Africa, is Botswana. They spend almost 10 times our budget in promotion and marketing activities out there. And therefore, I want to say, in as much as we think this is a lot of money, this is a drop in the ocean if we really want to make tourism bigger than it is today. And even as we give money to Shanga, which I support because it helps the women in pastoralist communities, they need the market of tourism to sell their wares. And I want to say this, Madam Speaker, we need to improve on the quality of our tourism products. And it is our, and I want this, especially I've heard the chairman of PAC talk about it, that indeed we need to start diversifying our tourism products across the country, and that role is actually with the county governments. It is up to every county to identify a tourism product that they would want the tourism ministry to market out there. And it must be something that is marketable, something where infrastructure is taken care of so that tourists can be able to get from one place to another. So I want to beg this Honorable House to support this amendment, but to go further in the next budget. And this is a challenge to the committee that is dealing with tourism. Please give tourism a lot of attention. We'd want that you even have time to visit the exhibitions that happen out there so that you can understand the scope of work that takes place out there and understand our competition so that next time you can push for even more money into this very important tourism. Madam Speaker, let this House know that tourism is the second largest foreign income earner for this country. So we must give it the attention it deserves and give it the money that is required to grow.
Thank you.
Those remarks I support.
Thank you, Honourable Members. I think with the kind of work we have, it's good to be brief and to the point. Having listened to the contributions to the program, allow me to put the question, which is at the program under the vote, vote 1204, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of the opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next program.
Trade Development and Promotion Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is the program under vote 1204 as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Mover. Where is the chairperson? Chairperson, you are everywhere. Budget. And this is your business.
You know, Chair, I have to keep consulting with the relevant chairs, and I would propose those who have amendments to come closer here so that if I need to consult, I don't have to keep moving around. Chair, the second amendment which I said was related to this one, is that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates of Kenya shillings 2,667,987,235 and development estimates of 2.620 billion shillings be deleted and substituted thereof with a figure of Kenya shillings 142,140,000 under recurrent estimates and 0 Kenya shillings under development estimates. Chair, this is just a correction. If you look at the estimates that were tabled before this House, which is in the order paper, and that vote, what had happened is that that 426 million had been taken out of this vote and left a negative 283. Therefore, we are just correcting that mistake because it had been removed from the wrong vote. Therefore, it's just a correction of that mistake in the first instance on the estimates.
Very well. Honourable members, I propose a question which is the program Trade, Development and Promotion under vote 1204, which is on the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question. Then I go ahead to put the question, honourable members, which is that the program under vote 1204, which is the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, as read out, be amended. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote. Next program.
Wildlife, Conservation and Management.
Honourable members, there are no amendments to this, and I propose the question, which is that the program under vote 1204, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is the program Wildlife Conservation and Management under vote 1204, the Minister of Tourism and Wildlife, be amended as proposed. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? Honourable members, we are so many in the House, and the ayes are so few. I want to repeat for the sake of answered. I put the question, which is the program and the votes 1204, Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The expenditure that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in the respects of vote 1204, which is the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1211, State Department for Public Service and Youth.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that sum not exceeding 17,510,867,600 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of the vote 1211, and that is the State Department for Public Service and Youth. Do you have amendments? Are there amendments to this? Anybody want to comment on this? Yes? Yes, you can. Let us have the Honorable Saku.
Thank you very much, Chair. We have actually been putting on our cards. We want to contribute. But I think if the nature of this particular debate or contribution is pedestrian, I think then we have no reason to be sitting.
Honorable Member, what are you doing now? You are supposed to contribute to this.
Of course,
the State Department for Public Service and Youth.
Of course, I am contributing.
Yes. Make your contribution to this, and that's why you, out of these members, you caught my eye. Yes, can you go straight to the point?
For that reason, Chair, even the last 2404 about wildlife, there is compensation There are many issues.
No. I will not allow you to go back. Honorable,
anyway, that is what
you are a very old and senior member in this House. Please, now that you are not able to debate us, please go to the State Department for Public Service and Youth.
I think I want to contribute on the youth one. What we have seen in the recent days is theft, pilferage, and a lot of losses in the name of youth to the tune of 8 billion. If more investigation is done, I think the losses could be even much more. I think wherever we come from, I think all of us here, we have been elected by youth. Majority of our voters are youth. But the money that is held up at the center or in the national government should actually go down in helping our people, particularly in the area of devolution, so that we put the counties more responsible in actually looking after the affairs of youth in a more focused manner than all of us looking at what is happening in the National Youth Service. In the media, there are those who are suggesting that we do away with the National Youth Service. That is not the answer. We must restructure the running of the National Youth Service so that funds, if allocated, actually can be properly adjudicated for on programs, and we are able to quantify what numbers of youth actually are helped. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Togarin.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, while I would like to support what the previous speaker said, Chair, there is a disservice that has happened to Kenyan youth through this ministry. Chair, when you look at the Constitution, Article 10, and you look at the Public Finance Management Act, it says any public officer who is supposed to spend any resources of the nation must look into the issue of equity. Madam Speaker, these youth service programs that have been set up in this country, right from the last parliament, have disenfranchised a very large number of youths in this country. They are also Kenyans. Their parents pay taxes, and they should be part of the program. They should never be discriminated against. Instead, it has been used as a political tool in the sense that the youths are recruited to propagate a certain political thinking. It is wrong, it is unconstitutional, and the ministry should wake up. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The member for Kiminini. Honorable Amalwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, research has shown that 70% of unemployed people come from the youth. It is very unfortunate, Madam Speaker, that the NYS that implements this program has been confronted with the issues of corruption. It's like this NYS money has become an ATM for some people, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we sympathize. I read the comments from the Budget Committee that anywhere where money has been misappropriated, they'll not appropriate money there. But in this case, we cannot run away from the problem of the youth. I think the challenge here is the implementation of these funds. This is where the challenge is. And it is important, Madam Speaker, if at all the corruption at the NYS cannot be contained, then this amount of money should even be distributed maybe in the counties. My worry is maybe the counties will be worse. I don't know. Yeah. We do it, okay, maybe the CDF, absolutely, CDF, and Madam Speaker, it is only CDF funds that has a clear framework that when you go to every village, you will find an impact is there, Madam Speaker. Maybe this is the time we should amend the law so that this money can be devolved up to the constituency level, Madam Speaker. Because this is where we are going to be assured of equal equity. Because equity is not there. And indeed, when you look at the allocations of CDF, Madam Speaker, everywhere in the country, irrespective of the poverty ratio, it is standardized, it is equal. So this money, I think it's the highest time we must devolve it further to the constituencies so that our youth can be catered for accordingly, Madam Speaker. I support.
Honourable members, so that we move, please, honourable members, I'll just give 1 minute to each. Honourable Kagongo, Bowen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to say something about this, Madam Speaker, because, Madam Speaker, like my colleagues who have spoken before me.
And please confine yourself to 1 minute. We have so many members who want to speak, and
yes.
we have a
yes,
lot
Madam
of
Speaker.
business to do.
I think, Madam Speaker, many of the youths in this country, like the colleagues who have spoken before me, they have suffered in the name of this vote, Madam Speaker. And it's very important, but we cannot also punish, Madam Speaker, our young people in NYS, because I know there are many of them who are also in the vocational training. They are being trained there as mechanical engineers, they are electrical engineers. We should not punish them because of some few individuals. Madam Speaker, we want to support this money here, and those fellows who are found to have corrupted in that ministry, Madam Speaker, to be put in jail. But otherwise, Madam Speaker, it's a nice cause. Madam Speaker, I have brought a bill before this House, especially to match the WESO fund, the youth fund, and women, and then we devolve into the constituency so that our women and the youth can be able to access at the grassroots level.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I support.
You support. Let me get from the women Rev Samburu.
Yeah, asante sana, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, nikiunga mkono hii wacha ya youth service, ningefikiria kitu moja. Hii pesa ni mingi na inasaidia watoto wetu. Ile muhimu ingefanyika, hii pesa tungepewa kama women reps, kwa sababu sisi pia ni part ya hii budget ya serikali, kuliko zile zingine kidogo tungeongezewa. Madam Speaker, pia ningesema hivi, kama sivyo, nina maoni mbili. Kama sivyo, hii JSO iongezee jeshi waende kazi, kuliko kwenda kufanywa training na wanabaki barabara.
Thank you. The Honorable member for Garissa Town, you know you have a priority speaking. Members, I'll give a few to speak on this.
Madam Speaker, I think my colleagues have already said it.
Speaker, when we go to the amendments, because the figures, we may limit, but this, let me, allow, because we are speaking general, since we are speaking all the other, programs. Yes, the leader for majority. Now speaking as a member for Garissa.
The member for Kisumu Central is telling you, I am here. That's not how we transact business here. The chair is supposed to see the whole House. But I think my colleagues, Honorable Wamalwa, Honorable Leshomo, have said it. This money, we are allocating it mainly for the young men who are in NYS. And I think this House is under obligation not to punish those young men who every day the media uses them as a screenshot in discussing corruption there. I think the committee that oversees NYS and the Ministry of Public Service, the Labour, and the Vice Chair of Labour is just discussing. She's not even listening to me. The Vice Chair, you listen to me, I'm talking about the Labour Committee. You need to make sure, and we have said it again, every chair, let us bring a quarterly report about your department, how they have used money, whether it's education, NYS, so that this House, in its oversight role, we track each and every penny that we appropriate. Otherwise, we will find people who their money is wired to them, and then when they are arrested, then the man who is arresting is also part of that family. You know, this is a country of miracles. You are being told the lead investigator is a boyfriend to the woman who has received the money. The hunter and the hunted are the same. It only happens in Kenya.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very, very serious. And and I think colleagues, NYS, and I agree with Honorable Member for Tongaren. Yes, there are some constituencies which do not get the NYS cohort. This time round, following the handshake, following the handshake, there are many colleagues here who did not benefited from that system. Let's talk like, before Honorable Dr. said he goes to court. We don't want him to go to court. We want him, the next cohort, to be given to constituencies that do not receive. And I'm sure where these boys are working, even in the cohort, it has changed their lives. And part of the sack of money is one which was even stolen. I mean, yes, because there's a huge, there are in many number of constituencies, those kids, their SACCO accounts are zero. So I think let us not punish the young people who are in NYS, who have been exploited. Let us allocate them more resources, and let us support the Labor Committee and the whole House and the Budget Committee to make sure that we follow this money, and the money is used in a very prudent way to uplift the lives of our young people.
Mwaya, just 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is also important to bring to the notice of the House that when I'm a member of the Labour Committee, and when we were doing this budget, we looked at the monies per se, and when we appeared before the BAG, we advised that this institution, that's the Budget and Appropriation Committee, we advised that this money be given to certain vote heads that could be devolved down up to the constituency level. And that included what the members are talking about as the Youth Fund, the Women Fund, and even the WESO Fund. But even as we reduce the money on this vote head because we noticed that when they appeared before us, they were extremely comfortable, apart from the pending bills, which were also doubtable according to us. But they were very comfortable and had no question, unlike the mainstream Ministry of Labor. And therefore, we reduced these amounts, and the monies we reduced to the tune of 5.7 billion. We really earmarked areas that were touching on construction, on refurbishments, it was not mainstream cohort money. But I can see the mood in the House, led by the leader and others, has changed. We are a little bit more apologetic than we were 2 weeks ago. And we are saying,
just Sampuru, yes, give her the mic. We must move fast. 1 minute, please. Just put your card well. Last one down. Just give her the nearest. Your card is not working. Come here. Give her the one for Samburu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you for this opportunity. Very briefly, I also support. It is very unfortunate that over the years, and this is not the first time, that the phrase of that is stated in Kiswahili, that kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee, continues to be an issue that continues to rise in our country. And it is very unfortunate. What I think and believe is that we should not punish the youth of this country because of the mistake of the few who continue to reap the youth. I pray and I hope that the zeal that we have started as a country to ensure that those who take the future of our youth by stealing the monies allocated to the young people, Madam Speaker, we will see them behind bars regardless of their status, regardless of their names, regardless of which community they come from, Madam Speaker, because they cannot continue to impoverish the Kenyan youth, and we continue also as a House to see to it that we cut the budgets of the youths, Madam Speaker. Finally, I do hope that the committee and even the ministry might decide that also the NYSs that we have, they get their float directly, so that if we are devolving also corruption, we remove it from here and we take the monies to the NYSs, to Gilgil, to every other place that they are, so that the money can actually do the work that it's supposed to do.
Honorable Onyonka, and then we go to the programs. Since we'll still have debate on this is general, we'll still go to the Onyonka.
Asante sana, Madam Speaker. Mimi kama mbunge ambaye anatoka eneo ambako...
And please 1 minute, just budget to 1 minute.
Asante, pengine nitawachia hapo kwa sababu sidhani nitazungumza kwa dakika moja. Asante.
Let's give you the mic. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I cannot agree more with my colleagues, and especially the majority leader, because the initiative is good, the thinking is good, but the implementation is bad. So the Committee of Implementation and the committee in charge of the Labor Ministry, please make sure you follow on these people, and some of these assets must be recovered so that you can help our youth. And lastly, Madam Chair, protect me from the majority leader. You should not treat me as a senior, because in terms of votes, I'm a senior.
No, let's not go there now.
Thank you so much.
Honorable member, this is a budget-making process. So our other, we will wait till the House, is in our, no more debates in the bills and motions. So that one, take it from me that I'm not going to allow it. Let's go straight to the programs now, under the votes.
Public Service Transformation Program, and General Administration Planning and Support Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is the program and the vote, under the vote 1211, which is the Department for Public Service and Youth, as read out, and sums allocated to the schedule be approved. Do you have an amendment to this? Honourable members, we have no amendments to this, and I therefore move to put a question to this, which is that the program under the vote number 1211, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next program.
Youth Empowerment Program.
I propose a question which is that the program under votes 1211 as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Again, we have no amendments to this. Do you have an amendment, the mover?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And I wish to move that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of development estimates, the figure of Kenya shillings 2,669,930,000 be deleted, and substituted thereof with the figure of Kenya shillings 6,669,930,000. The import of that amendment, Honorable Chair, as we've heard from contributions from members, and I truly appreciate what the Honorable Rasu has said, that it would be needless to punish these young people who are cohorts at NYS. What Mheshimiwa Dr. Esieli is saying, that we should not even use this youth as political puppets. And I agree with the majority leader that indeed even those constituents that did not benefit should benefit from the rollout of this program. The other point, Honorable Chair, is that many of the youth that are in NYS, it is youth from very poor backgrounds. The most vulnerable in our society are the people who take their young men and women to NYS. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, and Honorable Miremba here has said, although he has misled the House in stating that the Budget and Appropriations Committee declined because they came with a proposed allocation to move 5.6 billion shillings, which they sought to allocate to Wezo Fund, to the National Government Action Fund for Women, to the Women Enterprise Fund, to the Youth Enterprise Fund. And we did explain, after consultations with Treasury, we did indicate to the chair of the committee and the vice chair who is seated here today, that all these funds are now being put together under what they are calling Biashara, I think Biashara Bank or Biashara Fund. And therefore, we could not allocate further resources to that, since they are being wound up into, and I am sure Honorable Kangogo is shaking his head, because he even has a bill proposing that. Number two, Honorable Chair, you have to protect me from the member for Yata, who is fond of shouting.
No, just finish.
At the chair.
Actually, I can hear him. He's asking where is the money from. Can you just be telling them where the money is coming from? So protect. Yes.
Chair, I was explaining the amendment, the reallocations sought by the chair of the committee, or rather the Committee on Labour, and we approved that allocation of 5.6 billion. We further, as a Budget and Appropriations Committee, in line with what we have said that we must not appropriate money, what Honorable Chris Wamalo was saying, to organizations where people are misappropriating public funds. We took a further 2.5 billion shillings from NYS. However, following discussions with the Ministry, the National Treasury, and other stakeholders, we came to the realization that the 8.25 billion shillings that we had taken from NYS would effectively have made NYS inoperational. The cohorts who are there would have to go home. Over 10,000 young men who are being sponsored by NYS in TVETs would have to go home. So we have sought to reallocate 4 billion shillings to just cover the sustenance of the cohorts who are currently in NYS. No new programs, no new activities, just to cover the activities of the cohorts who are there now. And they required a further 1.3 billion shillings to be able to continue sponsoring those who are being trained in TVETs so that we don't send them home. And therefore, we sought to reallocate 4 billion shillings. It is still short by about 300 million shillings to be able to cater for that capitation for those in TVETs, and that is all we are doing.
Thank you.
With that amendment.
Having listened to the chairperson for moving, I propose the question on members, which is that the program under vote 1211, State Department for Public and Service Youth. Order members, order members. You cannot raise a point of order. I don't know what is the members this afternoon. Which question?
The question that Honorable Member for Yata was asking is the same question Honorable Member for Kisumu Central, the famous AUDA. If it is not Ouru, it is AUDA. They're asking where is the money coming from. And I've explained it, that this is money that was already allocated to NYS. Therefore, all we are doing is returning what had been taken away.
Thank you. Having listened to that, honourable members, I propose the question. And the proposed question, which is the program Youth Empowerment under vote 1211, that the State Department for Public Service and Youth, be amended as proposed by the chair. I give to, yes, honourable member Hoyata. And members, please, I give 1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, back. Thank you. I think, Madam Chair, the chair budget is being very smart. Is not saying where the money, where it has come from. It needs to be, it has been taken to which committee, to which vote, and from which vote is he accessing. It needs to come out very clear, because yesterday we knew very well where the money was. It was meant for the roads, and we took it back. So we want to know where this money is coming from. Secondly, Madam Chair, it is very clear money which has been going to NYS has been benefiting the wrong people. And the leader of majority, Madam Chair, has been saying that this House should not punish the youth, while it is the government where is the majority leader, which has been punishing the youth. And in two ways. We have had NYS under Season 1 corruption. There's now Season 2 with Garita. And he has even come here to confess that they were not funding youth in areas which were perceived to be under NASA, which were as now, but now that there's a handshake, is going to. But I'm very curious, Madam Chair. Now that the Wiper side has not done the handshake, is it going to give any money in those areas of Wiper?
I think all has been explained, and I need to put the question to this. I put the question. Leader, yes, you want to make a comment?
You know, Chair, I really want members to, when we are discussing this budget, the Committee of Supply, we must at all times refer to the Budget and Appropriation Committee estimates which were adopted in this House. And what the Chair is trying to do, because the Labour Committee have denied this vote, the amount the Chair is returning. So it was their money. And secondly, Chair, you know, when Honorable, my good friend, talks about NYS and corruption and everything, we don't want to go back to history. There are many issues. So let us move this country forward. Let us pick from where the handshake.
With the budget making process, I move to put the question, which is the program under votes 1211, that is the State Department for Public Service and Youth, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of the opinion say aye? And as many as have called opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Order. I want to put the question. Honorable Leader of Majority. Honorable Leader of Majority and the member for Kirinyaga. Remember, Kirinyaga, we don't cross. Actually, you confuse the House. We don't cross from one side to the other. We know what we do. But since I didn't have eyes as the leader of majority who saw, and that's why I confused the House, allow me to go back to put the question on this. Yes, we don't do that, honourable members. Let's observe procedures. Honourable members, put the question. The other program under the vote 1211, that is the State Department for Public and Service Youth, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of the opinion say aye? As many as of contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it.
Get the figure.
Next program.
The question. So we put the question for
Are they 30? Honourable members, allow me to pronounce myself that I can see you are calling for a division, but the members are less than 30. The members are less than, so this can cut out.
You put a question on the global, which is this.
So honourable members, I now put the question on the global amounts. I put the question on the global amount, which is the State Department for Public Service and Youth, and that the sum not exceeding 17,510,867. I repeat, honourable members, the amount of money, and those who are abstaining, can you sit? Please resume your seats, honourable members. Honourable Chair for Budget. If as you can fast, and as you consult, don't allow the process of your budget be disrupted by not you being the first one. Honourable members, I put the question, the global figure, which is at the sum not exceeding 17,510,867,600 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure and that is on the recurrent and development, including the year ending, during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1211, and that is the State Department for Public Service and Youth. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as are contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 12, vote 12, State Department for Gender.
Honourable members, I propose the question. Members, before we go to vote 1211. Order members, thank you. Order members, let us be calm. As we move to vote 1212, I know we are moving from a very important department in the state, Department of Public and Service and Youth. Order members, I propose a question, which is at a sum not exceeding 4,670,079,282 shillings be issued from the consolidated funds to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1212, and that is the State Department for Gender. I want to allow a few to debate. Honorable Makali Mulu, Kitui Central, you want to debate on this?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, even as I make my contribution on this State Department for Gender, Madam Chair, I think you might need to guide the House in terms of procedure, because what has just happened, Madam Chair, is that the amendment has been rejected for the above vote, but the main vote has been accepted. Actually, if we rejected the main vote, we would have dissolved that department. So that needs to be clarified.
Order members,
But in terms
can
of gender, Madam Speaker,
we listen to the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu? He's a member of the Budget Committee.
Madam
and
Chair,
Daktari in the House.
Madam Chair, I was just saying, as a member of the Budget Committee, I think it's better we provide some information to the members. What has just happened to the above vote is that the amendment has been rejected. If they rejected the second one, they would have actually deleted that department. So the second approval is in order, because it means whatever money was there remains, but this amendment has been rejected. That's basically the issue. But let me say something about the gender, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, gender issues are becoming very, very, very important in this country. And I think I want really to support allocation to this department, Madam Chair. Why am I saying that, Madam Chair? Madam Chair, even when you look at the population figures in this country, it's obvious that we have more women than men in this country. And generally, while gender doesn't mean sex, but I think women have been disadvantaged over time. So anytime, Madam Chair, we push more money to this department, we are actually providing opportunities for our women and daughters to be able also to move to the next level. So, Madam Chair, I want to plead with honorable members that we support this allocation to this department. By doing so, we'll be promoting this country. With those remarks, I support. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Cecily Barile, you are dedicated. You want to speak to this, the agenda one? Let us speak and then you speak, Chair. I mean the Leader of Majority.
Madam Chair, I rise to support this particular vote. I want to say that for a long time we've been treating gender issues as just issues of the lips. We now want to see action in terms of real money being put in that particular department. And let me just say 4 billion is just a drop in the ocean on matters gender. And matters gender affect both men and women. And may I say that there's a real issue that is now, and I'm sure the Honorable Secretary General Nat will agree with me, that the boy child is endangered, and I know that the Ministry of Gender is going to be putting a program to ensure we empower the boy child. So I hope that members will not treat this one the way they have treated the other one. This is very critical, just as the other one, and please let us pass this particular bill.
I mean, and Madam Chair, Committee of Supply is a very serious legislative procedure. You know, people want to support the gender, you know, give more locations to the ladies. And then you are killing the other part of humanity. Because we need to find out the balance. And I'm sure all is not lost. As the executive, as the person who speaks for the executive, I want to confirm again on record again, that the purported resources that you are being told by the chair of roads and others is part of the deficit in this budget. And how we are going to fund a deficit, me, I don't know. But I just support this gender issue, not because of many other reasons, but I have been carrying the gender bills and the gender burden, and I was doing this not because of the city members of parliament here, but because of my old mother who made sure and made what I am today. So I always will stand with the issues that deals with the women.
Thank you. The department has, the vote has different programs. So members, allow me, we go straight to the vote, to the programs.
Community development.
Order members, leader of majority, can you can you lead the majority?
We are consulting.
Thank you. We have an amendment to this. Yeah, we've already proposed a question. We have an amendment to the community development program, which has an amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Please, can you move the amendment?
Honorable Chair, we were consulting because I was a bit hesitant. But in the spirit of being magnanimous, Chair, members will confirm that this Budget and Appropriations Committee has been very kind to issues relating to gender, issues relating to youth. And I also want to be on record that we should not kill our very poor and vulnerable children's, their dreams, because of the sins of very greedy adults. And more so, with the misconception that the money you take away from those very poor children will benefit you as a member of parliament in a constituency on roads. It will not happen. Because as the majority leader said, it is money that is not there. And it will not be there because it builds onto the. You can shout, you can yell, but facts will remain as facts.
Honorable Chair, budget.
And facts, Honorable Chair, facts are so stubborn.
Yes, but
like
Honorable
figures.
Chair, budget. Honorable, the members did what they did, please. We are on your budget and you are taking us back.
I'm
so
saying
there's
that,
no
Honorable
way
Chair,
the Chair will put the other members not to speak on this.
This amendment, Honorable Chair, is very important.
Honorable, order, Chair, budget. When the Chair is speaking or addressing the House, you also have to listen. And this is a direction I'm giving also to members. We know this is a House of Rules and Procedure. There can be nothing out of order when the Chair has not even moved. Because he has to move, and then now you can contribute. And that's why I want you members to give the Chair time. He moves his amendment, and then now we speak to it. But every time we start confusing ourselves, you will confuse the whole. So the Chair, please move your amendment. Chair, move your amendment and please stop talking about anything else that is outside the department you are dealing with.
The amendment, there's a lot of noise behind. Honorable Chair, you have to protect me from the Honorable Alfred Keter. I think after I move the amendment, you have an opportunity,
yes,
if you happen to notice him, to say something, anything substantive you would have to say. Chair, the amendment relates...
It's already moving. It has nothing to... Are you confirming your chair? Honorable, before the amendment, let's hear what Honorable Makali has to say. It has nothing to do with the amendment because the amendment has not been moved. Correct?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I have a lot of respect for my chairman because I'm a member of that committee. But I get very worried when I hear the chair budget committee, knowing very well the constitution and the standing orders of this house, give this house a mandate to make budgets, change budgets, and do whatever they want to do with the budget, saying, we have allocated money, and this is an exercise in futility. I get very worried as a budget committee member, Madam Chair. So I would want my chair to allow other members to say that, but not the chair budget. With those remarks, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Leader.
Madam Chair, there's no crime the chair budget has committed. What he has said, and it's within the reading of budget making process, that what you are trying to do, you are trying to allocate money which is part of the deficit. He did say that. Yes. He did say that. But I'm saying for him, I am the leader of majority.
Order. Order.
Okay,
Honorable Mulemba.
If he did not say that, as the leader of majority, I am saying it. Yes.
And this is before, and Honorable Chairperson, Chair budget, you called for this. You called for this. No, just a moment. You called for this because you must be confined. Let me hear what Mulema has to say. And this is before movement of the amendment. I just have to allow one here and one this side I hear so that we move.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In fact, without...
Is there anything out of order?
Is it in order that the chair of the budget intimidates this House and supported by the leader that the exercise we are involved in is an exercise in futility, yet the law says that we are the ones who should make and amend this budget. And Chair, you must protect the dignity of this House. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Tiende. Honorable Tiende, just put your mic off. And Chair, please also, yes, Honorable Tiende, before I make a ruling on this. Just keep him.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the point of order I raise is under Standing Order 87-2. And I raise it because the Leader of Majority has said this severally. The Chair of the Budget has also kept saying it. They keep referring to the decision that was made. Madam Chair, Standing Order 87-2 says it shall be out of order to introduce an argument on any specific question upon which the House has taken a decision during the same session. The House already took a decision on this. The Leader of Majority and the Chair cannot keep arguing with the decision in the same session. So I think they are completely out of order and they should not be allowed to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Given that, and that is a decision unmade, and chair budget, it is important to confine yourself. And we have said this several times. Chair budget, you are opening up a lot of and procedural, issues in the House. So please let us confine ourselves with the vote that we are debating and for us to make progress. So please, Honorable Chair Budget, can you move the amendment to the vote, to the to the vote on gender?
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
That's a state amendment for gender.
Honorable Chair, I wish to move the amendment that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of development estimates, the figure of Kenya shillings 2,660, Honorable Chair, 2,375,000,000 be deleted and substituted thereof with a figure of Kenya shillings 2,675,000,000. and their affirmative action fund to be able to do a lot of important work back in our constituencies, since these are our women reps who represent our constituents. Part of this money, Honorable Speaker, and the chair of the caucus will tell you, the part of this money is going into bursaries that are helping very vulnerable children again way back in our villages. Honorable Speaker, the other important thing is to mention where this money came from, because Honorable Ouda will ask that question, where the money is coming from. This money is coming from the Lake Basin Development Authority. As we mentioned yesterday, they had allocated 800 million shillings towards payment of a loan for a mall. And the House pronounced itself and the committee pronounced itself for not seeing the value in going to pay for a shopping mall when our women representatives are incapacitated in terms of what they're able to do for our constituents. Therefore, we reallocated 300 million shillings from the mall in Kisumu to help Kenyans across the country. And I beg to move and urge members to support this one in support of our women representatives.
Thank you, honourable members. I propose the question, which is at the program Community Development, and vote number 1212, which is the State Department for Gender, be amended as proposed by the chair. Says.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I really must appreciate the fact that we see the need to continue increasing the amount of money that is going to the women in the 47 counties. And Madam Chair, I want to say this, and it is out of experience. A county is not a small affair. A county is a heavy burden on the women members from these counties. And therefore, going in the next coming budget, we can actually enhance this amount of money to even better amount. Not just 300 million, I think we need to put more billions into this fund, because this fund goes to the right people, to women, to youth, to persons with disability, to orphans, and this fund is important for this nation. With those many remarks, I support.
Thank you, thank you. 1 minute, the chair for Lands. Chair for Lands, just 1 minute.
Thank you very much. But I would like to stand with the women, our women reps who are doing very important work. Honorable Chair, I would like to say that they are doing a very good job with regard to sanitary towels. What I would like to encourage them is that it is extremely important that when you are doing this work, to work with the constituency members of parliament, be they male or female. It is important for you to be able to be in touch with the whole county. A county is huge. And for you to succeed, you will be better if you work with the constituency members of parliament. I rest my case, Honorable Chair.
This one is for gender. I don't remember us, we are on the community development, even to speak. Let's, the leader of majority, you know, he has priority in speaking. Leader of majority.
Chair, I think my interest is where we are getting the money from. And I'm sure Honorable Millie and all those who are with me in the 11th, 10th Parliament, every year when we are doing budget, there is an allocation for a mall in Kisumu. And we don't know when government became the custodian of building malls. From where I come from in Isili, it is the community and the business community who build malls. You know? So the chair of finance, if he's here, Honorable Limbo, should ask the Auditor General to do a special forensic audit on that mall, so that if this house will be convinced that we need to pay, then in the supplementary estimates, then we can allocate. But for now, between the mall and the great women of Kenya, we feel we should give that money to the women, and the women must work with the constituency members of parliament. They are here, they are more than you, they are 290. And you are getting their votes to get money. So you have no chance of getting out of the chamber and then start fighting the constituency members, because we want to help you increase this money year in, year out. And for the chair of budget, the caucus is not recognized in the chamber. The women caucus are not recognized. So when they are sitting in the chamber, they are sitting as individual members of respective counties.
Thank you. Before I give it to the chair of the KEWOPA, who's in the house, Honorable Millie. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, I'm calling on you, but your card is in and out. Where are you? Honorable Millie? Honorable Millie? Millie, they want to hear you. They want to hear you. That is Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me this opportunity. Chair, I wish to support the amendment. And in supporting, first I want to say that the KEWOPA caucus is recognized by the standing orders. We amended the standing orders to recognize. But even as I support, I want to say that there are some of us who worked very hard to ensure that the number of women in this house is increased. And it was very difficult to ensure that is done. And I am very disappointed that even as we are passing this budget, the number of 47 women who are in this house are very few. And I want...
Thank you. The Chair KEWOPA. Chair KEWOPA. Honorable Girishi. What is our number?
It's number 145. 145.
We are right here. We are here. Hey, we are here. We are here.
Chair. Chair.
Can you plan your 1 minute? Just 1 minute.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. Even as you are giving me 1 minute, part of my minute was taken when the mic is not working. I thank the women for standing because we have seen the numbers. Law is made in the house, not in WhatsApp groups. So please come to the house. The same way we managed to bring 47, help us to work so that your money is increased and so that the numbers are increased in this house.
Thank you.
Stop discussing in WhatsApp
Honorable
groups.
Chairperson KEWOPA. And you are the last one to speak on this.
Yes, thank
before
you.
We go to the other, before we go to the other vote, I mean the other program. Yes, 1 minute.
Thank you, Chair, once again. Chair, I wish to thank all members of single constituencies. I wish to thank the budget chair and the budget committee. And once again, I wish to thank all members that have really stood with us, even those that felt that probably we were going offline, or probably any member that felt that the 47 probably engaged you in the wrong way. I wish to apologize on their behalf. And I wish to say that we agreed, and we have to look for a way that at least we will be able to work with the 290, because even on the part of the bursaries, I think it is very important that even as much we have little bursary, we also maybe share between ourselves and our members of parliament, our colleagues, so that we can be able to work together. And
thank you. Honourable members, I put the question. We must make progress, and after this, we will be moving a bit faster, honourable members. I put the question, which are the program and the votes, under the vote 12, that is the State Department for Gender. The Leader of Majority.
Honorable Chair, I really want to thank the Honorable Pasaris. What you have raised is in order, but the Budget Committee and even the Departmental Committee and the Chair of Legal Affairs is here, that there is no an existing legal framework. So putting even the fund there, all that money, will have been very, very useless. So what they have done is they have put 100 million to jumpstart the consultation and the stakeholder and how to prepare that bill so the Attorney General can send the restoration piece of legislation to the House. Once we pass that piece of legislation, I am sure at the stage when we are going to do our supplementary estimate budget, we will bring back the money.
Thank you. Let's go straight to the programs. You call the programs?
Legal services and legal services program and general administration, planning and support services program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which are the programs under vote 1251 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Members, no amendments to this, and I move to put the question, which is that the program under the vote number 1251, which is the Attorney General and Department of Justice, as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are opinion say aye? As many as are opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next program.
Governance, legal training and constitutional affairs program.
I propose a question, which is the program, the governance, legal training and constitutional affairs, under vote number 1251, which is the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice, be amended. There is an amendment, Honorable. Be approved. Now we are waiting for your amendment.
Yes. Honorable Chair, I wish to move that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of the development estimates, the figure of 1,048 million be deleted and substituted thereof with the figure of 648 million shillings. Honorable Speaker, that 400 million that is being reduced from that vote relates to that restorative justice fund, as has been articulated by the leader of majority. The fund does not exist as we speak, and there is no legal framework for it. And we have left 100 million shillings in relation to what Honorable, the member for Nairobi County, the women rep for Nairobi County was speaking to. We have left a figure of 100 million towards the establishment of that fund once the legal framework is built up and as confirmed. Once that is ready, then more resources can be allocated. But for the time being, it will not make sense to allocate money that will not even be utilizable for now. So we've just left the 100 million that is utilizable. And the Honorable Chair for JLAC, Honorable Cheptumo, is aware, and in concurrence, I'm sure he can confirm that when he stands up to speak, Honorable Chair. And with that, I beg to move.
Before I propose the question, Honorable Emilio Diambo, can you put your mic off from where you are? It's not working. No, from outside it's not, so anyway, it's considered from somewhere. Honorable members, I propose a question, which is a program that is a governance, legal training, and constitutional affairs under vote number 1251, and that is the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice be amended as proposed. I take one before I put the question. Do I have interest to this? The mood is that I put the question. Honorable members, I now move to put the question, which is at the program under the vote 1251, Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as are contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the Honourable members, now we move to the global sum, which is that the sum not exceeding 4,754,129,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect. Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 15,664 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, and that is the recurrent.
Speaker, I want to speak on the next one.
You want to speak on the next one? We go to the programs and the chairperson budget. We are going to the programs. You get ready. As I can see, you are consulting. Move to the programs.
Senate Affairs Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which that the program under vote number 2041, that is the Senate Affairs, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Do you have an amendment to this? Chair, do we have an amendment to the program on Senate Affairs?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes. Can you move the amendment?
The amendments, the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates, the figure of 6,414 million be deleted and substituted thereof with the figure of 6,374 million. That is one. Honorable Chair, I seek your guidance.
Let's go one by one. Let's go by one.
Okay. One by one. Honorable Chair, as you realize, I am sure it is not what the Honorable Leader of Majority is thinking. I know what he's thinking. But I can confirm it does not relate to what he's thinking. This is a reduction of 100 million.
The implication of deleting and substituting, because
yes.
We want to go back to
the deletion is a deletion of from 6.4 to 663.74. It's a small figure, I think, of about 60 million. Honorable Speaker, this is in relation to the our parliamentary staff housing scheme. We had given them an additional 750 million shillings, but upon reconsideration of the figures, we reduced that to 500 million shillings. So that 250 million shillings is being shared between the two votes, so that of the Senate and the National Assembly.
So in short, for the members to understand, and I think that's what the members have been asking, you are reducing the increase.
We are reducing the increase we had given them of 750 by 250 million shillings to leave them with an increment of 500 million. And the Senate Affairs vote is taking its share of 60 million shillings through that amendment. Then the others will also relate to the same, the other two amendments.
Let me go straight so that we take a vote by vote. Honourable members, I will go straight to put the question on this. And the ES did explain very well. Leader, you want to comment on this? Is reducing the increase? Before that, I propose a question. Leader, you want to comment on this? Let me propose a question, honourable members, having listened to the chairperson. I propose a question, which is a program that is the Senate Affairs under vote number 2041, that is a Parliamentary Service Commission, be amended as proposed by the chair. Leader, your comment on this?
Chair, I just want to make it and put it on record that we must, and I have insisted a number of times, that in the allocation in the Parliamentary Service Commission, between the two houses, it must be allocated on pro rata basis. This is a house of 349 members against a house of 67 members. If you look at the workload given by the Constitution between the two houses, you'll find that there's too much workload here. We have been sitting here the last 3 days at the Committee of Supply, from morning to evening. So I am sure the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, the speaker, and the commissioners, and Honorable Kainan is here. You know, we have not elected our members to the PAC to go and eat mandasi and to go and enjoy themselves. We have put them there to make sure that there's equity between the two houses.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, so I hope, and then the chair to declare, as he moves the amendments, the chair needs to tell the House how much he's allocating to the Senate monitoring and evaluation budget. He needs to tell us, and it goes on record, so that he tells us why he wants to empower the senators to go around their county and not empower the women reps, and not empower the single constituency members, and not empower the nominated members of parliament. We must know that reason. Why do you want to empower certain? So Parliament must be the house that gives equity in resource distribution and in lawmaking.
Thank you, Leader. I think the Leader, you've spoken all. Chair, you want to comment on that? Because that, I think, general concern of the members. Just comment, and I move to put the question. Chair, budget.
He is seated here. Why wouldn't he just lie and tell us the truth and give us the truth and nothing else but the truth?
Commissioner, that is a public demand. Just clarify to the members.
Thank you,
Yes.
Madam Chair. Without delving much into the details, I just want to give you one assurance. Just a minute. We will be. The other information you'll get through Akamukunji, you'll know our informal way of communication. But I can tell you, we have taken care of the interest of every and each member, whether you are in the Senate or the National Assembly. The details we'll do through our formal channel of communication, which you all understand. And I beg you leave it here. And I beg you leave it here. Yes.
It's fair enough. Leader of Majority. Leader of Majority.
My point of order is very, very clear. Madam Chair, I gave my vote to Honorable Kenan with many other members. And he cannot take me for a ride, at least as a voter. As a voter. Because he doesn't take the people of Elders for a ride. We want just Kenan to clarify to us. Tell us, if you're a man of facts.
Yes, let me respond to those issues.
The last one is the chair budget. Chair budget, just respond to the issues, and then now I put the question. I put the subject to a vote.
Thank you, Chair. I want to confirm what the Honourable Leader of Majority is asking, whether there is such a vote as M&E under the Parliamentary Service Commission vote. And I want to confirm there is no such vote under the Parliamentary Service Commission. Under Parliamentary Service Commission, it is not there. What was given for our honorable members of Senate is, and we did put it in our report if honorable members of this House took time to read our report, we put that money under planning just like NGCDF and the GAF Fund for Women Representatives, so that it becomes compulsory that there must be regulations for them to be, and a legal framework for them to be able to access that fund. Therefore, honorable members, I also want to beg, like Commissioner Kenan, that we do continue with these other votes relating to the Parliamentary Service Commission without much ado, because that money is not even in this vote. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable members, now I put the question. Allow me, having listened to the chair, the leader of majority, the commission, this House now, the vote is up to the members to take the vote. And honourable members, I now put the question that the program under vote number 2041, that is the Parliamentary Service Commission, as read out, be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? Aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Remember the ayes of it.
General Administration, Planning and Support Services Program.
I propose a question which that the program under vote number 2041, that is the Parliamentary Service Commission, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. There is an amendment to this.
Honorable Speaker, that is a second amendment, which, as I explained, it's the same 250 million, but it has to be drawn from the other votes. And this second one is that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of development estimates, the figure of, Chair, C is what I was speaking to. B relates to the development estimates, the figure of 3.2 billion. B deleted and substituted thereof with a figure of 2.7 billion. Honorable Chair, this is on the development vote. We had been, in the estimates, we had a figure of 2.1 billion shillings towards completion of the parliamentary towers across the road next to County Hall, and 2.1 billion. We allocated a further 1.1 billion. However, upon review with the Parliamentary Service Commission, we realized that they could still do it with 2.7 billion, and that is why we are reducing that 500 million shillings with 2.7 billion shillings to be able to complete that building. I am told by the Parliamentary Service Commission, and Commissioner Kainan is here, completion of the building is June 2019. Is it?
December 2019, 2018.
Is it June?
Go to the next budget. Go to the next budget. You're going to...
Was it June? Well, that is a matter that the Commission is well appraised of, and all we have to do as a budget committee is to appropriate adequate funds to enable them complete that project, and therefore want to urge you to support that amendment so that we're able to complete that project in time to allow members. Indeed, Honorable Chair, it was a big problem during the consideration of the budget estimates. And honorable members will remember a number of committees had to meet in hotels in town because there weren't adequate rooms, meeting rooms for committees to meet, and therefore they had to hire at an extra cost rooms in town. Therefore, Honorable Chair, I beg to move and urge members to support that amendment.
Allow me propose a question, which is that the program, the General Administration Planning and Support Services, and that is development estimates, under vote number 2041, the Parliamentary Service Commission, be amended as proposed by the Chair Budget. I can't see interest to this. Honourable members, I move to put the question, and which is that the program under votes Parliamentary Service Commission, as read out, be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next program under the votes.
The General Administration, Planning and Support Services, recurrent estimates.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is that the program, the General Administration, Planning and Support Services, that is the recurrent estimates, under the vote number 2041, that is the Parliamentary Service Commission, be approved. Chairperson, we have an amendment. That is vote number 72.
Honourable Chair, that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates, the figure of 6 billion shillings and 50 million be deleted and substituted, therefore, with the figure of Kenya shillings 5.9 billion. Chair, as I had explained earlier, this is the next, the share of the 250 million shillings that related to our members of staff. We are recovering 150 of the 250 million. The first one was 40 million, and the subsequent vote under National Assembly will be 60 million when we get to it, Honourable Chair.
Honourable members, have listened to him. Now I move to propose a question, which is that the program, General Administration, Planning and Support Services, and that is recurrent estimates, honourable members, and vote number 2041, Parliamentary Service Commission, be amended as proposed by the Chair. Any interest to speak to this? I put the question. I therefore move to put the question, members, which is that the program under the vote Parliamentary Service Commission, that is vote number 2041, as read out, be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? 14 billion 974 million shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum 21 billion 915 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, and that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 2042, and that is National Assembly. Any debate? Honorable Junet, can you go to give it to Honorable Junet? Give him mic. He wants to say something.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, Madam Speaker.
And welcome to the House.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I support that budget, the vote for the National Assembly. But Madam Speaker, that vote is lower than what was expected to be given to the National Assembly. when the Senate have taken a lot of money for no reason, but I support, Madam Speaker.
You support. And now that the Honorable Junet has supported and I can see no interview, let's go to call on the programs to these votes.
National Legislation, Representation and Oversight Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question, which is a program under the vote number 2042, the National Assembly, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Do we have an amendment to this? Honorable Chairperson, Budget. Honorable members, stop engaging the chair budget. Stop, there is a time for consultation. Chair budget. We are on vote number 2042. Yes, and we have an amendment to the
Honorable Chair,
program.
This relates to the National Assembly. As I had mentioned earlier, is the contribution on that staff 250 million, a figure of 60 million shillings that we are reducing. And the amendment is that the proposed allocation and a program in respect of recurrent estimates, the figure of 21,915 million, be deleted and substituted thereof with the figure of Kenya shillings 21 billion, Chair, 855 million. That's a reduction of the 60 million shillings contribution to the 250 million that I had referred to earlier, Chair. Thank you.
Honourable members, I now propose a question which is at the program, National Legislation, Presentation and Oversight, and the vote number 2042, which is the National Assembly, be amended as proposed by the Chair. I see no interest to speak to this, and I move to put the question, which is at the program, and the votes National Assembly, vote number 2042, as read out, be amended. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as are opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Now we move to the global figure. That is, I'm putting the question to the vote, honourable members, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 21,855 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, and that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 2042, which is the National Assembly vote. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 2091, Teachers Service Commission.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 226,886,753,422 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 2091, the Teacher Service Commission. We move to the, yes, Honorable, there's a member, just for a comment or before we move to the programs. What is the number of that? Is the chair? Chair? Chair committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I just want to comment that the Teacher Service Commission in this budget didn't get the allocation for the employment of teachers. And I want to be very categorical here in the sense that in the budget estimates, the targets were given as to recruit 20,000 teachers. But the funds, so the allocation was not indicated in the budget. So I would want to request this House that through the Budget and Appropriation Committee Chair, to really ensure that the targets that the Ministry has set in the vote book be achieved by allocating the required 10 billion for the recruitment of teachers in the 2018-2019 budget. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The Honorable Mulemba Obok, I know. Just 1 minute. Honorable members, please take 1 minute to comment.
Thank you. I'll be very brief, and thank you, Madam Chair. That is true.
And if you want to comment on it,
Teacher
please
Service
put your
Commission
card under intervention. I will
was
not.
given money to employ teachers. And we have a new curriculum, and we have 100% transition from primary to secondary, meaning that we shall have our children in the second school not having teachers because we have the 100 transition from primary to secondary. And therefore, the chair of the budget committee should, in future, organize to have money allocated to Teacher Service Commission to employ a minimum of 20,000 teachers, like the chair Education Committee has commended. Thank you, Chair.
The member for Funyula. Other members, if you want to speak, please put your card on intervention. Yes?
Chair, thank you. I've been trying to catch your eye the whole afternoon, but I just wish to comment that with the chronic teacher shortages in the country, I think we have done a disservice to the children, the teaching fraternity in this country. We have done a disservice to the education sector, and I think it's important the coming supplementary budget, we sincerely have to do something. For example, my own constituency of Funyula, I have a teacher shortage of almost 100 teachers. It is training performance. It's going to compromise performance. If we are truly interested in helping the child in this country, we must invest in the teachers. Thank you.
The Honorable Mutai Kiplangat, Bureti? Buret, Mutai Kiplangat. Mohammed Sheikh, Wajir South.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I'm glad you have cited me now at the far corner here. But look, the TSC budget, or the Teacher Service Commission budget, is too personal to me. It is too personal to me because, Madam Chair, I must put on record that TSC, or Teacher Service Commission, has not been kind enough to the children of Northeastern Province of Kenya. Simply because of the number of teachers that were taken off there, and their funds, or the monies that we have put in the budgets in the previous years, have not been allocated rightly for those teachers. What is important here is that enormous amount of money now has been allocated there, and I disagree with my other colleagues who think that the amount of money given to TSC is enormous. The amount of deliveries they are doing is less.
Thank you.
And therefore, I disapprove on this. Thank you.
Member for Narok South.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I rise to support this, and even as I support Madam Chair, I want to really concur with the Chair Education that perhaps the Teacher Service Commission might not have gotten enough funds for recruitment of teachers. And I want to say this, Madam Chair, that as I actually support the Chair Education, maybe in the future, this particular fourth head should be relooked, Madam Chair, because some of us who come from pastoralist, arid areas, we have a serious shortage of teachers. And I think it will be unfair, Madam Chair, if our children suffer because of inability to employ teachers. And therefore, Madam Chair, I support and I propose that as we move forward, this particular issue of teachers should be relooked. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The last one, the member for Siaya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support this because education is key to development, and quality education must be put in place. Part of being implementing quality education is to employ teachers, and right now, many schools in this country don't have enough teachers. Every other school next door don't have teachers. So the recruitment of teachers and the funds allocated for the recruitment is very much supported, and therefore I support this because it's going to improve the number of teachers in schools. Schools will be covered enough, they'll be able to complete their syllabuses.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Members, we will still have to speak to the programs. So can we call the programs, because the teachers you're speaking in general, we have different programs on this, and I will give you to speak to the programs. Yes, he confirms that there are many programs. Call out the programs.
Teacher Resource Management Program and Governance and Standards Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is at the program under vote number 2091. That is the Teacher Service Commission as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. We have an. Do we have an amendment? We have no amendment to this, and I move to put the question on members, which is at the program under vote number 2091, the Teacher Service Commission, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? As many as are contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next program.
General Administration, Planning and Support Services Program.
Members, I propose a question which is at the program under vote number 2091, that is the Teacher Service Commission, as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Do you have an amendment to this? No, I don't think, do we?
General Administration, Planning and Support Services.
Yes, please move your amendment.
Honorable Chair, that the amendment is that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates, the figure of 7,9,125,526 be deleted and substituted thereof with the figure of Kenya shillings 6,809,125,526. Honorable Chair, this is a reduction of 200 million. As I said yesterday, we were trying to raise, or rather we raised 1 billion shillings from the education sector, 800 million shillings which came from the universities, and this 200 million from TSC. This does not in any way relate to the hiring of teachers. We have endeavored to safeguard the budget for hiring and teachers. This was an additional allocation indeed that we had given to TSC to enable them purchase vehicles for the supervision of teachers across the country at the sub-county level. And upon discussions with the chair and the Committee on Education, and we went to TVET for recruitment of teachers for TVETs.
Very well, very well. Honourable members, now they have been moved. I propose a question which is at the program under vote number 2091, the Teacher Service Commission, as read out, and the sums are located in the schedule. No, we are on the program. No, we must put the program as it is. The program, because we are on the general program. I propose a question, which is that the program, the General Administration, Planning and Support Services, under the vote number 2091, be amended as proposed by the chair. Okay, let me get a comment from the member for Migori County, the women of Migori County. Oh, are you ready to speak to this? Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The case of the Teacher Service Commission and the issue of their administrative work to move around the counties and even check on the qualities and the implementation of what the teachers are doing on the ground is something that is so important to this country that ideally I would wish that whatever budget that they were allocated be given the way it is, because we have been seeing across in the recent years our results are not very good, especially in the rural counties. And much of it is attributed to the fact that apart from the number of teachers that we have in schools that my colleagues have talked about, the other reason is that these people are not able to move. The supervisors are not able to move in the villages even to see what the teachers are doing on the ground. I stand to say that I wish that reduction was not done so that we give the Teacher Service Commission the total amount that we requested for as Education Committee, which we know was even way less
than what actually the Teacher Service Commission requires to carry out its mandate to deliver quality learning to our children all over the country. I wish to oppose.
To oppose or support? Thank you. Honorable Member for Kitui West. Kitui South, sorry, the chair lands.
Thank you, thank you.
Just use your 1 minute. Members, we can convene to, yes. Go to the next.
Well, thank you very much. Now I can be heard. Chair was saying that any money that is allocated to Teachers Service Commission, be it for hiring teachers, be it for administration, should not be deducted. Some of us who are in constituencies where we are facing challenges, like my constituency, Kitui South, and Honorable Chair, let me speak for you because you cannot speak for yourself. Kitui West, Kibwezi West constituency, and Kitui South constituency.
You are even mistaken, my constituency, it is East, Kibwezi East.
Honorable Chair, I'm making reference to Kibwezi East constituency and Kitui South constituency, which have the highest number of primary schools, and you go to schools where you find only one teacher. You go to schools where the administrator at the sub-county level is not even able to go many kilometers, at times 60, 70 kilometers, to go and see the schools, how the head teachers are doing, how the pupils in schools are doing. It is a serious matter of concern. So I would like to say that it is a matter that the chair needs to be supported, that is chair education at the supplementary level, so that we can put money which relates to Teacher Service Commission at the administrative level and also at hiring of teachers.
Thank you.
I think also I will just want to support the sentiments of my colleagues that when you look at the education sector, especially the TSC, Madam Speaker, we need to really relook at it. Employment of teachers, recruitment of teachers is very fundamental. Madam Speaker, we have teachers who graduated 2010 and have not been employed as of now. 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and why did they go to school? So, Madam Chair, I think this is something which the chair for education should really sit down and create something that can accommodate all these teachers. We lack teachers. Every school in our villages lack more than 10 teachers. Shortage of teachers is high, and we have teachers who are trained. Madam Speaker, I think the chair.
Thank you. 1 minute is over. Honorable Tanweki Protich, Bomet Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to also make my comments. I do support my contribution towards the issue of teacher shortage. That we have currently a teacher shortage of 100,000. And in this budget, we are not even capturing any figure. We don't even have a single cent to recruit teachers. We are talking of recruiting teachers through a supplementary budget. That is like an afterthought. That is unfair. Why do we keep saying that in this country we have free day secondary and primary education, when we know very, very well some of the CTF-sponsored schools are only having the principal or the head teacher, but no teacher. So that means the parents are forced to.
Thank you. The Honorable Lesonette, I cut you short. Just please, 1 minute. Lesonette, I know this is an area, it's a vote that most members
yes,
have interest, but I'll just give other one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, this issue of teachers is very, very emotive, and I hope the Chair Education Committee is taking notes so that he can even help us to prioritize teachers who are over 40 years old and they have never been recruited. 40 years old and they have not been recruited. If you can help us to prioritize, if also the Chair can help us to identify teachers who are stuck here at headquarters. The TSC is now doing something called delocalization. We also want to see that delocalization affect teachers stuck at TSC headquarters. We also want them to move out to the regions. We also want to see teachers stuck at county headquarters, divisional headquarters, sub-county headquarters.
Thank you. The next honorable, the honorable Sosion, you've been there. What do you have to say about the teachers?
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
1 minute.
I rise
no,
to
I've
support.
given you 1 minute. You plan your minute. Yes, carry on.
I rise to support the Chair Education Committee, indeed, on the proposal to have more teachers. Madam Chair, statistics are very clear that currently the country has a shortage of 104,000. And the projection by the Teacher Service Commission within the next 4 years shall be 150,000. The government has marshaled the 100% transition rate, and of course, there has been huge investment to attract learners to school. There cannot be quality education without employing and recruiting enough teachers in our public schools. The projection of TSC indeed has been approved by the Treasury, hiring of at least 22,000 teachers annually with a budget of 10 billion. We have been discussing and moving money and moving votes across the board. Surely, at this age and time, should we really negotiate employment of additional teachers in this country?
Honorable Kimunya, the last one. Honorable Kimunya, having been budgeted before.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I rise to echo the sentiments being expressed by members of this House. We have a crisis. We are talking about the Big Four. We are talking about free day secondary education. Parents are paying for that education.
These two members, Commissioner, you can see you should not be standing.
I hope I'll get my time that's been taken. Madam Chair, I'll say we have a crisis in this country. We are talking of the Big Four. We are talking of free day secondary education. Yet parents are paying for it. Yet we don't have teachers. And education is the biggest enabler to the Big Four. We have 22,000 teachers who are included within the estimates, but no money was allocated. Whether that was by mistake or by design, it's something that needs to be corrected. If we don't have those teachers, then the rest of the budget will not make sense. Thank you,
Thank you, honourable members.
Chair.
Given the interest to speak to this, I'm sure you know education is under the members of Parliament. So I put the question. Please, you can take a vote on there. Put the question, which is the program and the vote. That is vote number 2091. The Teacher Service Commission, as read out, be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are this opinion say aye? Aye. As many as are contrary opinion say nay? Or members, the ayes have it. Now we put the question to the global sum, honourable members, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 226 billion 686,753,422 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, and that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 2091, the Teacher Service Commission. Will as many as are this opinion say aye? And as many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote, honourable members, I must also indicate to the House, after the next vote, the other votes do not have amendments. So I want to assure you that we'll be able to move fast. Yes, next vote.
Vote 2111, Auditor General.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceed Kenya shillings 6. Honourable members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding 6 billion 168 million 917,300 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, and that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 2111, the Auditor General. Any contributions to this? No, let us go straight to the program. Call on the program.
Audit Services Program.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is that the program under the votes number 2111, the Auditor General, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Chairperson, there is an amendment to the Auditor General.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. and the amendment relates to audit services, that the proposed allocation under the program in respect of recurrent estimates, the figure of Kenya shillings 5,486,687,300. Department that we met with as a Budget and Appropriations Committee, and we were able to allocate them an additional 1 billion shillings, which was going towards 450 million shillings that was going towards their development expenditure to allow them to complete projects in regional offices that they have started in Eldoret, Kakamega, and Embu. And further, I think 280 million shillings that was going towards, within the 450 that was going towards consultancy for a PPP project that they're doing for their Upper Hill office. Then there was a further 500.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Angwenyi Odieki, so that they don't call you
That's
father.
my
You
name.
have a name, yes, sir.
Yeah, Nuru Angwenyi. Now, I can't understand how we can reduce the requirement of Auditor General when we have started with that, we have embarked on fighting corruption in this country. I just can't understand it. We should not have reduced that amount by 250,000 million. We should have given them even more, so they are able to do their work, and therefore bring out those people who are taking our Kenyan citizens' money.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, let this Parliament, you know, the Auditor General is an appendage of this Parliament. They're the one who assists us in our...
Before information, yes, what a member for, is it to, yeah, give him the mic. Narok South, let me hear what is out of order for the member for Narok
Madam
South.
Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Angwenyi to mislead the House? Indeed, this is not a reduction of 250 million. It's actually an increase of 750 million.
Thank you, Honorable. It's not, then we will get that. That's why the chair is here, and I'm sure the member, the observer, the chair is here to confirm the same. Let me give the member, the vice chair to Public Investment Committee. No, and is it something out of order you wanted to make a contribution to this? Because the Honorable, because the member Angwenyi has not finished. Yes, the Honorable Angwenyi, just 1 minute and finish. We are using 1 minute to contribute. So you have 30
I was talking on the
seconds.
basis of the record that I have.
Yes.
If you have got some secret record, I don't
Yes.
have it.
Thank you. The chair budget, please, the Honorable Angwenyi needs a confirmation to this before he takes chair budget. I think that is all. Your time is over, but chair budget. Can you confirm to the chair? Yes, Honorable. Honorable
Chair, I think it's good to
Angwenyi,
make
you can
that
resume your
clarification.
seat. Yes, chair budget.
You know, when Honorable Nuru Angwenyi is speaking, we are not allowed to interrupt him.
Please just get to the point.
the father of the
Chair, you
House.
are wasting this.
Honorable
Go to the
Chair,
point.
Honorable Chair, I seek to make that clarification that indeed, in overall terms, we have added to the Office of the Auditor General 750 million shillings. Therefore, we had added
Thank
a
you.
billion, but we didn't have those resources.
The Honorable
and we
Nuru
reduced
is
it by
even saying, okay, he's happy with that. Honorable, are you okay? You have, yes. You beg to support. Just brief to the point. Chair, please follow that. Honorable Nuru, you've led us very well. Let me give, because I'd called him the Vice Chair to Public Investment Committee. The Honorable Member for Ujur.
Madam Speaker, it happens that the Auditor General, our prosecutors, both in Public Accounts Committee and the PIC Committee, I expected you to be, of course, as you are chairing, you may not be their prosecutor, but then give to those who can prosecute the case on their behalf. Madam Speaker, as we are all aware, this office is doing a wonderful job. This office that has been created under Article 229 is doing a wonderful job. Indeed, I can describe it as meticulous, effective, and innovative. All the frauds that is happening in this country is reported by the Auditor General's office. I want to thank the Budget Committee for let me say, for the first time today, for allocating them an.
Your time is off. The last one. The Beatrice Nyaga, your card is. Honorable Beatrice Nyag, you, yes. And 1 minute, members must learn how to plan.
Thank you, Chair. I want to support and thank the Budget Committee for giving Auditor General enough money that they have always doing a very enormous job. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Because
I know where the, thank you, Commander. I know where the chairperson, vice chair of Public Investment Committee sits, and he knows the importance of the Auditor General, as I also am aware. But allow members, now I put the question to that amendment, which is at the program, and at the vote number 2111, that is the Auditor General, as read out, be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of either opinion say aye? When as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And now, other members, allow me to put the question to the global figure, of course, after amendments, which is that a sum not exceeding 5,918,917,300 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2019, in respect of vote number 2111, the Auditor General. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1192, State Department of Mining.
I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding 1,612,684,125 shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, and development during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote number 1192, the State Department for Mining. Honourable members, we have no amendment. No, we go to the programs. Please call the programs, even if you don't have amendments.
General Administration, Planning and Support Services, Resources, Surveys and Remote Sensing Program, Mineral Resources Management Program.
Honourable members, I propose the question that the program under vote 1192, State Department of Mining, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the program under vote 1192, State Department of Mining, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 1,612,684,125 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the SNE. The ayes have it.
Vote 1193, State Department for Petroleum.
Honourable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,030,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1193, State Department for Petroleum. What is his name? No, no. Huh? Yeah. What's his name? Honorable. Huh? Honorable. Dance. No. Nakara. Yes, yes, I got the name correct.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just the issue of distribution of gas.
Honorable Speaker, we want the government to reduce the price for the gas and take this gas which has been reduced the price all over the country. Because, Honorable Chair, this gas is only distributed within areas of Nairobi and Nakuru and Eldoret. But areas like Turkana, West Pokot, and other parts of areas, we need this gas, Honorable Speaker, to help our people to reduce the issue of the fuel, the issue of the charcoal, so that everyone can access the gas. Thank you.
Honorable Nyamai. Yes, you get an alternative mic.
Well, Chair, I would like to make a comment about petroleum with regard to LPG, and particularly regarding the institutions that are local. It is important for government and the committee in particular to make sure that they give a lot of support to the local companies so that as they compete with the multinationals in the distribution of LPG, so that they are not thrown out of business. Two is to ensure that the government LPG does not only benefit people in urban areas, but that it also benefits people in our constituencies that are very rural, including northeastern, eastern parts of this country. Thank you, Chair.
One more, Honorable Isonet.
Thank you, Chair. And that is why, just to respond to what the members have raised, as I speak now for Budget Committee, that is why you can see that there's an answer allocation in the report adopted by the House from the initial proposal by Treasury of 3.5 billion shillings to this particular State Department by a further 1.5 billion, Mr. Chairman, to make a total of 5 billion and 30 million shillings. So with that, we feel it's adequate to distribute gas, especially to the families which are very, very poor. I thank you, and I support and I seek the support of members in prosecuting this particular vote. I thank you.
I'd say that is the last one. Well, let's go program first.
Exploration and distribution of oil and gas program.
I propose the question that the program under vote 1193 State Department fund, that $1 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1193 State Department for Petroleum. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1221, Ministry of East African Community and Northern Corridor Development.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 1,091,757,114 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1221, Ministry of East African Community and Northern Corridor Development. Yes, program.
East African Affairs and Regional Integration Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the program under vote 1221 as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable members, I put the question that the programs under vote 1221, Ministry of East African Community and Northern Corridor Development, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding 1,091,757,114 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1221, Ministry of East African Community and Northern Corridor Development. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 1261, the Judiciary.
I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 14 billion 804 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1261, the Judiciary. Yes, Honorable Nakana.
Chair, I just want to bring to notice the Committee for Legal Justice that the High Court in Turkana, it is now almost 6 years. It has never been completed. So we are kindly requesting for dispensation of justice for the Turkana people. That High Court must be completed within this budget that we have proposed today. Thank you.
Honorable Wabugu Munene.
Thank you, Chair. I support the...
Honorable Munene, bring the mic nearer.
Yes. Can I be here now? Thank you, Chair. I like to, though I support the amount allocated, I think going forward, I would beseech the budget and this House to progressively increase the amount allocated to the judiciary. As the honourable member has just said, we have some counties in this country, this era, whom do not have a high court station. We have some constituencies who do not have even also a chief magistrate court. And we all know that judiciary is a core in the development of in the country, which observe the rule of law. So I support, but going forward, we should at least increase these allocations to the judiciary. Thank you.
Shall we have Honorable Oudo? Yes, Honorable Oudo, Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. As much as I appreciate the work of the judiciary, I think we need to continuously pump in a little more money to fight the rampant corruption and crimes in the country. Secondly, Chair, there was a proposed law court in Funyula constituency. The groundbreaking was conducted by one of the the judges in the Supreme Court, Dr. Smokin Wanjala, and I believe that should have been around 2010. Up to now, nothing has been done. We hope this financial year we'll get the long-awaited court so that we reduce the traveling distance that we have to cover almost 30 kilometers to go to the county headquarters to seek justice. Thank you.
Yes, we must give the chair of JIRAC, Honorable Cheptumo.
Thank you, Chair. Let me say, Mr. Chair, that indeed the resources allocated to the judiciary is really not sufficient at this point. But as a matter of policy, even in our report to the Budget Committee, Mr. Chair, is that we are not going to undertake new projects in terms of the courts that are already in place. The policy now is that they are going to complete construction of the existing courts, including the one in Turkana. I recall, Mr. Chair, when my committee went to Turkana for the public hearings, the governor was able to share with the committee also the challenge they have in Turkana, and indeed other parts of our country. So we have already agreed with the judiciary that they should actually deal with existing courts before they now commence new courts. And the same also for for my colleague here from Western Kenya. I think it will be the same, under the same category also of the courts. So we want to assure the Kenyan people that, Mr. Chair, this will be undertaken before we start new projects.
Yes, we shall have 2 more maximum. Honorable Makari.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, even as I support allocation of resources to this department, or to the judiciary.
1 minute, Honorable Makari.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. The issue of the courts, Mr. Chairman, I think we need to supplement that with the mobile courts. So let also judiciary think about use of mobile courts, so that where there are no courts, we can move there and also people have access to justice. Thank you.
Honorable Kioni.
Can me out, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Just want to say that I support this vote and also ask that in the planning of things in the coming days, they should, the judiciary should consider setting up a high court in Nyahururu, which will be both beneficial to your county, Laikipia, and Nyandarua. And that whole area is really wanting in terms of justice, access to justice, and in terms of the high court.
Honorable Agwenyi, you know, when you stand and insist you must speak, you put the chair in an awkward situation.
As long as he gives me a chance.
I don't know why I feel Honorable Agwenyi, you always speak for 30 seconds. Please do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we should really consider allocating more resources to judiciary. I saw in the media recently that they have now cancelled all their medical scheme. And if those people fall sick, shall we have justice in the courts if they are not there? Secondly, I would like to suggest that when next time we give them more resources, they seek to establish a court at Marani, the cradle of Kisii traditional justice.
Programs?
Dispensation of Justice Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 1261, the judiciary, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 1261, the judiciary, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 14,804 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1261, the judiciary. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,926,540,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1271, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Honorable Shaban.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Chairman, concerning Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission in this country, most of the times, even when they've really wanted to do some work, they've had hiccups because of the mega funds that they've been given in some budgetary allocations. However, when they are given funds, they should be able to work very hard because corruption has become an issue in this country and we require to see the funds being utilized properly.
Very well. Shall we give it one more? Yes, Honorable Makari.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, even as I support allocation of money to this department, Mr. Chairman, we realize 2.9 billion is a lot of money. And Mr. Chairman, I got concerned when during lunch hour, I was watching news, and the DPP confirmed to Kenyans that this department is falling short of expectations in terms of investigation. So, Mr. Chairman, I think as we move forward, even as we approve these resources, it is important that this particular department does their work properly. Otherwise, they are going to be a very likely candidate for dissolution of this by this House. Thank you.
Well, before Honorable Kioni, let's give Honorable Nyaga, even for us to keep balanced.
Is it working? Thank you, Chair, for giving me the opportunity. As I support this vote, Mr. Chairman, it is very unfortunate that the Kenyans are making noise about the anti-corruption. They are not doing their best. We need to tell them they should wake up, they should be vibrant, they should be seen to fighting corruption like other institutions. Otherwise, I support.
Please, before I come back this way, let me give to, obviously, Honorable Bui. Robert takes precedence. Honorable Bui.
Thank you, Chair. I also wanted to support this money to ethics and anti-corruption and say that we just heard that Zambian MPs are in Kenya learning how to fight corruption in their country. So maybe there's something they are doing good here that we don't know about. So let's support them. Thank you, Chair.
Yes. Honorable Kioni, should we not put the question now? You are the last one now. I know they are.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
As you consider putting the question, I support this, Mr. Chairman. But let's remember that this is a commission that we put in the Constitution. While we should demand more from them, we should also desist from issuing threats from here. Yes. Because in so doing, we do not allow them to get more.
Ethics and Anti-Corruption Program.
I propose a question that the program under vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Honorable members, I put the question that the programs under vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding 12 Kenya shillings 2,926,540,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 1281, National Intelligence Service.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 31,211,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1281, National Intelligence Service. Shall we have just two members here? You at most, Honorable, yes, Honorable Angwenyi.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, national intelligence is the security insurance of this country. So I support the amount of money they have been given because I know that they will use it well. We have been peaceful, this country, courtesy of this department. They have been doing their good job. Let us encourage them, and if they need more money, let them come to us. We give them. Thank you. I support.
Honorable Nakara.
Chairman, we want to appreciate the work done by this National Intelligence Service. Since the new Director General took over, most of the cases that we used to hear, they have now reduced. So, Honorable Chairman, we want to encourage such kind of agencies to do a good job like the one National Intelligence Service are doing in this country. I support.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Kip Kosgei, right? hasn't spoken for, and I'm sure he has been queuing.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance also to contribute. So I want to say that I also support the allocation of these funds to the National Intelligence Service because it plays a critical role in our country. So I just want to challenge them at least to pull up their socks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Good. Seems to be, yes, programs.
National Security Intelligence Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 1281, National Intelligence Service, as read out, and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 1281, National Intelligence Service, as read out, and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 31,211,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1281 National Intelligence Service. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
I propose a question that a sum not exceeding 2,912,276,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Honorable K.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I support simply because the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution forms the backbone of criminal law in this country, and therefore we need to fund it. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would say the funds are insufficient, but I support that they be given this amount. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Tongi.
Mr. Speaker, I support and I like the spirit with which our members are passing these bills, because this budget, because it really makes a lot of sense for us to support this kind of budget, considering the kind of challenges we are going through as a country. And I think it's the money we have given them is not enough. But just like the principle of money, it's never enough. You have to make do with what you have. And I'm sure under the circumstances, the amount you have allocated to them looks reasonable. But in the future, Mr. Speaker, I would urge that we consider to give them a little more, just like on intelligence. We need to give them a little more because of the kind of work they're doing. If you look at the kind of crime we have in the country today, considering with what we used to have from the terrorists in the past.
Very well, very well. Chair Jairaka, obviously I'll give you, but not now. Let's have Honorable Shaban.
Thank you, Chairman. Considering the work the DPP's office is now doing, and even in the past they had a few, I think, teething problems because they were not given enough funds to employ enough prosecutors. And I do believe that whatever they've been given now and the amount of work that we expect from them, and we've seen they've started working very, very seriously. But again, they will need to employ quite a number of people. So I do believe whatever they've been given, I wish it would have been a bit more, but for the time being, they should utilize those funds properly so that they can be able to prosecute cases. And we can see cases which are watertight, and people, Kenyans starting to take responsibility because the DPP would be working very seriously. Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Obara Akinyi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity. I also stand here to support, and just as my colleagues have said, this is one area that of late, what we have seen, the effectiveness of prosecution with what has been going on in the country. If anything, I would have wished that they were probably strengthened and given more money, but I believe that can be done in the supplementary budget. Thank you very much.
Chair, Honorable Cheptumo, Chair Jairak.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank members for supporting this allocation, Mr. Chair. And I also want to thank the Budget Committee because, Mr. Chairman, initially, the amount allocated to this sector or this agency was actually minimal. And when we appeared before the Budget Committee, they were able to add another 500 million to this agency. Mr. Chairman, we have a new DPP, and he has the desire to improve and to build capacity for that particular institution. And I want to say that I agree with members that in future we still need to add more resources for this department, so that, Mr. Chair, the fight against corruption can be strengthened for our country. And I think as a House, we are going to play our role in allocating more resources, even in the supplementary budget, for them to work more effectively. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank members.
Programs.
Public Prosecution Services Program.
Honorable members, I propose that the question that the programs under vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 1291, Office of Director of Public Prosecution, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,912,276,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 1311, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 822,232,095 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 1311, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. Honorable Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, this particular allocation is not in compliance.
Program. Let's do program, then I'll give you a chance.
Land Administration and Management Program.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the programs under vote 2021 National Land Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable Kioni.
Thank you, Chair. I support this allocation, but also want to state that this is one of the commissions whose expectations have fallen. Their performance has fallen far below our expectations.
Honorable Makari.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I also want to support and join my colleague in saying that even though we are allocating this billion plus to this commission, I think, Mr. Chairman, we say where there is smoke, there is fire. Kenyans are complaining that they are seeing some smoke in this commission, and they need to be serious with their work. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Agwenyi.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the work of this commission has fallen below the bar, but we should encourage that commission, and we should give them guidelines. Maybe the cabinet secretary for that ministry should give a guideline as to when they will issue titles to various areas in this country, various counties in this country, especially in the coast and in the northern part of the country, so that people know that this land belongs to me or doesn't belong to me, and particularly to our institutions of learning. Thank you.
Honorable Corey. Thank you, Chair, for giving me this opportunity. Chair, in as much as I also support this vote, Chairman, I join my colleagues in stating that this commission needs to pull up its socks. Mr. Chairman, even as I speak now, there are some regions already where the standard gauge rail has reached in areas. People are already complaining that matters of compensation is wanting. So, Mr. Chairman, in as much as we are allocating these funds to this commission, they need to do a thorough job. Otherwise, it's going to be a real disadvantage to the people of Kenya. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable, I'll give the chair, of course, for lands who has registered to speak.
Be undertaken with regard to the land compensation that they have undertaken in the past 2 years or so. So this is a commission that I think requires re-engineering. Even as we give it money, I don't know that it's about the issue of land, which is the problem, or it is the people in the commission. Something needs to give way. We shall latently give them the money, but I think this House owes it upon itself to do some soul searching and perhaps take some steps or measures that will right the wrongs that are very inherent in this commission. Reduction may not help. We may need to do a purge in the leadership of this commission and perhaps look at the law. Honorable Chiptumo is here. Look at the law that actually creates this commission. I know it's the Constitution. I heard the Honorable Bangwenye talking about the ministry that supervises it. It doesn't have a ministry. This is an independent commission. This is an independent constitutional commission with all the powers. It's only answerable to the people of Kenya through this parliament. So this parliament needs to do something rather than just giving out money because it is a fashion. Thanks.
Lastly, Honorable Chair for Lands, Honorable Rachel.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to say that the reason as to why I've sat through, even as I supported other departments and ministries, is because I would like this commission to be given the money. The disappointment that is being raised in this House is also being raised by the committee that oversees this commission. But I would like to say that let us look at it as a commission, not the individuals that are there, and we also need to give it a chance. This is the institution that is supposed to look at historical land injustices. It is supposed to look at matters, compensation for land in this country. So I would like to encourage the House that we give them the budget as it is. We have made it clear, Her Honorable Chair, that we are not going to have two systems for digitization. We have said that there shall be only one digitization project, which will be implemented by the ministry, because we felt that that was a loophole for misuse of funds. I take note of PAC, that the Commission is unable to account for funds that have been given before. And I would like to say that for this time that we are overseeing the institution, we are going to do our best. But I would like to say that the disappointment that has been raised in the House, I would like it to go on record that it is the same with the Committee of Lands. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, I put the question that programs under vote 2021 National Ad Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 1,260,451,513 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2021 National Ad Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2031 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 4,233,624,477 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2031 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Very well. Yes, shall we have, if we can move quick, Honorable Washiri, if you can have 1 minute each, then we make progress, please.
Thank you, Chair. For 1 minute, I would want to support this budget, but quickly also point out that IEBC currently, as it is not properly constituted. And I would request the committee in charge of justice and legal affairs to make sure that this committee, this commission is quickly constituted so that when they are going for the boundary delimitations, they are properly constituted so that they can proceed with the work that we need to see as Kenyans. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Tuitoek Kamuren.
Thank you very much, Speaker, for this opportunity. I'd like also to support this motion. Otherwise, I want to point out that this Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is in shambles. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to ask this House to think through on how best we can actually come up with these commissioners. We have had trouble over the years. Every time we try to come up with a good commission, they never finish their term. It could be in the function, it could be also in the frame, in the way in which we appoint these people, whereby politics come into the picture. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say that this House needs to think through how we can come with a truly independent commission which can serve through their time. Secondly, I'd like also to say that as we go towards doing the boundaries next year, and also doing the census in the future, we'd like to make sure that a fair way is come up so that we don't get the case whereby northeastern provinces had problems with the statistics.
Very well. Point made. 1 minute. Honorable Makari, 1 minute, please.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I also support this allocation, and I want to agree with my colleagues that Honorable Chief Tumo and this committee needs to save this country. Actually, where we are now, if you don't save this country, Honorable Chief Tumo and your committee, we are likely to get into problems, and more so on the issue of delimitation of electoral boundaries. That is critical, and we need to start in time so that we are not late for the timelines. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, let me lastly give to the chair of Justice Committee, Jairak.
Thank you, Chair. Let me say that indeed what members are saying is true, that as the commission stands now, Mr. Chair, we have a problem of quorum. And the challenge we have is that we don't have the legal framework through which we can use to bring on board, the additional commissioners, noting that 3 of them resigned recently. And my committee, Mr. Chair, and I want to assure members here that we are currently looking into the appropriate legal framework, which is going to facilitate then the filling of the vacancies of those commissioners who have resigned. Secondly, Mr. Chair, indeed, it is true that the issue of delimitation of boundaries is coming up very soon in the next 1 year or so, and we have no option really but to strengthen this commission and ensure that they are able to undertake. We also have by-elections, arising, like in Baringo South and other areas. And so we are taking this issue seriously, Chair, and I want to assure colleagues that we are equal to the task, and we are going to ensure that we have the legal framework in place.
Very well. We must proceed programs.
Management of Electoral Processes Program, Delimitation of Electoral Boundaries Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 2031 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 2031 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding 4,233,624,477 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2031 Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2051, Judicial Service Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 364 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2051 Judicial Service Commission. Honorable members, let's get to the program.
General Administration, Planning and Support Services Program.
I propose the questions that the programs under vote 2051 Judicial Service Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 2051 Judicial Service Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 364 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2051 Judicial Service Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2061, the Commission on Revenue Allocation.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 434,556,341 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2061, the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Program.
Intergovernmental Revenue and Financial Matters Program.
Very well. Let me propose a question, then I will give to only two members, and we make progress. I propose a question that the programs under vote 2061, the Commission on Revenue Allocation as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable Boni Mwalika, member for Kitui Rudo.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I support the allocation to the Commission, but I would like the Commission to move very fast and complete the that formula allocation, that revenue formula allocation, so that counties can get their rightful shares, fair rightful shares of the resources. Thank you very much.
Honorable Makari.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I also support this allocation. And Mr. Chairman, what I want to say is, even as they think about the third generation formula, let them also focus more on finalization of the marginalization policy, because that is the policy which is going to inform next phase of resource allocation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, I'll put the question that the programs under vote 2061, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding 434,556,341 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2061, the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2071, Public Service Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding 1,219,510 170,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2071 Public Service Commission. Programs.
General Administration, Planning and Support Services Program, Human Resource Management and Development Program, Governance and National Values Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 2071 Public Service Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the programs under vote 2071 Public Service Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 1,219,510,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2071 Public Service Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2081, Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 564,000, allow me to take that again. I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 564,170,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2081 Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Honorable Makari, please, if you can be brief.
1 minute. You know, Mr. Chairman, some of these things we say, they are going on record, and it's important we say them. Mr. Chairman, this commission is getting new commissioners. And the only thing I want to encourage the new commissioners to do, Mr. Chairman, is to look at their terms of reference very clearly and make sure that they do their work comprehensively other than just focusing on a few items like Parliament and other institutions, because they have a wider mandate to manage the public debt, public wage. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Programs.
Salaries and Remuneration Management Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 2081 Salaries and Remuneration Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question that the programs under the vote 2081 Salaries and Remuneration Commission as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding 564,170,000 be issued, 170,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2081 Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Vote 2101, National Police Service Commission.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding 630,556,818 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2101 National Police Service Commission. Yes, Honorable Opio.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, even as we support that this commission gets this money, it must be reminded of its constitutional mandate, and more so when it comes to matters of the recruitment, promotions, and indeed disciplinary actions within the National Police Service. Mr. Chair, the National Police Service Commission, under the current chairman, Mr. Kavuludi, has, over the years, progressively ceded its mandate to third parties and entities against the letter and spirit of the Constitution. This has happened to the detriment of those junior police officers who look upon this commission for protection, as it were. So this commission was created actually to serve as a bulwark against the encroachment by the executive and other authorities within the National Police Service workings. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, as we speak, the junior officers within the National Police Service are really living under deplorable conditions. And they are really undergoing serious problems when it comes to career progression. This is something that is within the mandate of this commission.
Very well, Honorable Adai, your point is actually made. Program.
National Police Service Human Resource Management Program.
Very well. I propose a question that the programs under vote 2101 National Police Service Commission, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I put the question that the programs under vote 2101 National Police Service Commission, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 630,556,818 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending to the 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2101 National Police Service Commission. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 2121, control of budget.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 618,470,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2121, Controller of Budget. Program.
Control and Management of Public Finances Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 2121, Controller of Budget, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I put the question that the programs under vote 2121, Controller of Budget, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Kanini Kega, you seem to have engaged that whole area until when I put the question, they are not keen. Now, honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 618,470,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending, that is June 2019, in respect of vote 2121, Controller of Budget. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 2131, the Commission on Administrative Justice.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 499 program.
Promotion of Administrative Justice Program.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the programs under vote 2131, the Commission on Administrative Justice, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I put the question that the programs under vote 2131, the Commission on Administrative Justice, as read out and the respective sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that a sum not exceeding nay, the ayes have it.
Vote 2141, National Gender and Equality Commission.
Honorable members, I know the energies are going down, but we are almost getting there. So I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 374,965,388 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2141, National Gender and Equality Commission. Very well. Seems we don't have a lot of interest on that. Yes. Remember. Register your interest to speak. You know, honorable member, you have to put your card and register interest. Yeah, honorable Angwe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair would want to suggest that the vote in favor of Gender Commission be approved as suggested, but there is a suggestion which I wanted also to air, that Honorable Chair, very little has been achieved in the past with respect to gender development. I would want to emphasize that. Let us now see improved contribution in terms of policy and regulations, such that we have gender in terms of both women and men. There are men who are being molested, Honorable Chair, and we are not seeing reaction. Instead, we are only looking at gender being women only. Let us also look at the girl child and the boy child all together so that we see the regulation on both sides coming to a conclusion. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable Wakongo Wamalwa. Honorable Wamalwa, that name is not known. Honorable Wakongo. Or is not known to the chair.
Chair, I want to thank you. This National Gender and Equality Commission is very, very critical. Unfortunately, Chair, and I'm hoping they're listening, they've been focusing so much on gender activism when it comes to the issues of equality, because it's supposed to look at the issues of gender and the issues of equality. Absolutely, the boy child. We've not seen any aggressiveness when it comes to this. Yeah. Okay, Mheshimiwa has mentioned about Kiambu. It's not just Kiambu alone. Even in Trans Nzoia County, where I come from, boys are suffering, they're having problems here and here. So it's the highest time, Mr. Chair, wherever they are, so that much as they focus on the issues of gender, they should also look at the issues of equality. And we must have good programs. And we need to be having this report. The commissions must be putting their reports in this house. Since the time I came here, Mr. Chair, we've not seen these reports being tabled here. We need to debate and see that there is value for the money. I thank you.
Well, we must put the question, but we don't need to block a few members. Let them have Honorable Cecily Baride.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to say I hear what the Honorable Wamalwa is saying, but I want to challenge the men in this house. The honorable members from the female gender in this house. I want to challenge them that your silence is what is causing the problem we are having with the boy child. The reason why the girl child has been empowered and will continue to be empowered is because the women make enough noise. So you people are quiet, you never mention it. It's true, it's true. Mr. Chairman, I'm not afraid to repeat that again. We want to see more activism for the boy child from Honorable Wamalwa, so that people can remember there's a boy child who needs to be empowered. But as long as you remain silent, you behave like Mulifika, you are in trouble. Please.
Well, Honorable, I propose a question that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 817 million 2,200 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the recurrent and development expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2019 in respect of vote 2151 Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Honorable Carrier.
Chair, this opportunity is much appreciated, and I stand to support the allocation that is being given to this authority. How guns are then turned against the very people who are paying taxes so that the police can be in the service, then it becomes very unfortunate. And we know that the police will not be able to investigate themselves, and as such, we are calling upon the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority to step in so that we can reduce the cases of extrajudicial killings in this country.
Honorable Sorone.
Thank you, Chair. The much we are supporting the financing of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, I want Chair to say